Sharona Williams, Payer Wait. My question is for both Trevante and Andra. One of the things that I find fascinating with both your characters throughout the course of this film is how their humanity or their own personal and professional narratives that they try to create are basically being twisted. With Billie, she's speaking from her own experiences as a Black woman in America, yet they're trying to silence her or politicize her in the wrong way. And Trevante, with your character, you're just trying to exist and do what you feel is your duty to this country. However, you as a Black man, that narrative has changed around for your character as well. And what I wanted to ask the both of you is, how was it portraying the duality that, Black people faced back then, but also too, have you found that these same narratives or things happen to you in your own professions current day?
I'm gonna let you go first, Bertrand. You're muted. Trey Prowse, you muted.
I said, ladies first, always.
Oh, see, you know what? So right. Oh boy, that's a big question. It's a great question, actually. So thank you, Sharona.
I apologize for the rambling.
No, you're not. I'm like such a rambler, and then I always have to check in and be like, did I answer that question? And I'm like nervous. When I'm nervous, I talk, and it sucks because it's embarrassing. But you were good. So I think, speaking on the narrative portion, right? Yes, I think, of course, I think what we see happening back then with narratives being suppressed and narratives being changed, we absolutely see today. We see it in media, when Black people are shown as looting, when Black people are shown and they're criminalized on, in the news or in outlets, or when it comes to movies, when we can win awards as long as we're portraying characters that are from the ghetto or live in the ghetto or doing things that white people are comfortable as seeing as Black, you know what I mean? And so, and then with narratives back then, of course, her narrative was suppressed because she was talking about racial terror, lynching in America, and she was integrating audiences. And so, Bryan Stevenson actually puts this so perfectly, and I'm just like blessed that I've ever had a chance to work with such a genius. But he says we won the physical war, but we lost the narrative war. And the narrative war is so important because you can lose a physical war and continue a system of oppression, right? It's something that's more subtle. It's a bigger institution that runs sort of quietly in the background. But that can persist as long as you control the narrative, right? And so, of course, I think we see it happening back then. I think we still see it today because people still have an agenda to continue to sort of control and monetize and criminalize Black bodies. And I think there's a fear, right? There's this idea that it's like, okay, we're for the liberation of Black people, people of color, marginalized people, LGBTQ community. We're for their liberation as long as we stay number one. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of, sharing that space is a scarier idea, I think, for a lot of people. So yeah, they have to continue to control the narrative. And it's our job, as Lee did so brilliantly in this movie, to take the lid off of our narratives and to tell the world, yes, Billie Holiday was actually the godmother of civil rights. Yes, Beethoven was actually African. Yes, 3 Black women sent us to space and programmed the first computer, or that Carver kept us from, just completely being destroyed, economically destroyed during the Depression, or that a slave was responsible for netting us our independence as a nation. So it is our responsibility to research and to pull the lid or the curtain back on our stories.
Absolutely.
I'm like, come on, Trevante, you gotta follow that up.
Hey, you can't follow that up, man. It's it literally, like she said, this has been the struggle since the beginning of time, and so this is what we're going to continue to do. This is what we have to continue to do, and what we're privileged to continue to do and have a conversation with all of us doing. This is what we love to do. This is the reason. So yeah, I love listening to her say everything because she really does breathe this. It's amazing. So
thank you.
Yeah.